You've been seeing what's going on in Colorado. You've been seeing what's going on in Colorado. This is another thing. This is NIL low key, but the transfer portal, bro. So Colorado has had 19 players just this spring transfer portal session go into the portal. But in the winter session of the portal, they had another 12 go into the portal. Now, the number one player that they lost was five-star cornerback Cormani McClain, said he was tired of playing for clicks. So, D-Lo, does Coach Prime have a problem on his hands with all the social media presence surrounding his program?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think it's a Coach Prime issue. I think it's a college sports issue that they have a problem on their hands.
Okay.
I think this is taking place at all of the programs, maybe not to the magnitude of 31 players, but there's a large portion of players moving in and out of programs each and every year now that NIL is in place, moving freely because of the different draws that there is with the NIL with recruiting. Players aren't, so if the players aren't happy with their playing situation, if they just don't like how they're being coached, whatever the case is, if they have been contacted and been granted, said that they're going to get more money, they have the freedom to pursue other opportunities for playing time and for money in college sports. So you throw all of that in there with collectives offering money. I feel like this is more of a collegiate sports issue and not strictly solely a Prime issue. Of course, they're going to make it a Prime. They're going to paint it as a Prime issue because of the way that he utilizes and weaponizes social media to his advantage. But I don't think it's a Prime issue.
I think it's something that Prime. So this is what I initially thought whenever Cormani McClain came out and said what he said on social media, that he's tired of playing for the clicks. Now, I always thought, of course, Coach Prime is the man that he is, and he brings a lot of attention to himself, and he's gonna and wherever he goes is gonna be a lot of attention. Just the way he talks, the way he carries himself, the effect that he has had on that on his players, even when he was, what I'm saying, when he was coaching at Jackson State. When he was coaching at Jackson State, the effect that he had on his players, and the always saying that he want these boys to become men, and his program is to build gentlemen, to build men to be in society, because not everybody gonna go to the league, but everybody has a dream to do so. And we said on this podcast that I would love to play for Coach Prime. You know what I'm saying? I would love to play for Coach Prime, but I did sometimes feel like there was a lot of publicity around this university. And if I had to look back, I think I would feel some type of way too. If I could be real, I would love to play for Coach, because I feel like,
okay. Well, wait. Before you answer my why, let me add to that. I ask why, if you were a player in today's day and age, not when we were playing, because social media wasn't big when we were playing.
Agreed.
Why would you feel like that in today's day and age?
Because I would question it like you question everything else. It seemed like it's just publicity, bro. It seemed like it's just for show sometimes. To me, it seemed like it's just for show. Like people pulling up in private jets. You got all these. You've never had a situation like Colorado's where you had rappers and former NFL players, and what it had.
That's a lie. Well, University of Miami, Southern California, Oregon, it happens everywhere.
But man, on the sideline with this many cameras and this much publicity around it, never.
Absolutely.
I have not seen it.
When Oregon was popping back in 2010 or whenever that time period was, you didn't see all of these individuals along with Phil Knight on the sideline with a bunch of cameras around them.
Well, maybe at I just USC, won't watch.
You didn't see.
Maybe I won't watch it enough.
Snoop Dogg and all them boys. At Miami, you don't see Uncle Luke and all them boys, and all of the Miami players that's in the NFL back at the games.
The reason I say that is because in some instances it do seem like too much. In some instances it do seem like too much, and I can understand why he said, "Yo, we just playing for clicks." I can understand why he said that, because there were times when I was like, yo, this do seem like a lot, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, but it goes back to what Shiloh and Shadur said. Like, if you doing your thing, you gonna play. You know what I'm saying? And if you playing, then the clicks and all the views and what you think is going on around the program don't matter if you own the field. So I can agree with that. That I can agree with that aspect, but I do see what Cormani was saying. Like it do seem like, because there was a lot of hype around. We've done multiple segments about Coach Prime because we mess with Coach Prime. We agree with what he's doing and how he's moving. But what the hell? I lost my train of thought. I don't know why. I don't know how I did. But there was a lot of hype around Coach Prime and what he was going to do with the University of Colorado, with them being 1-11 the year before, and then they came out and they 4-8. You know what I'm saying? But the expectation was greater than 4-8. The expectation was 8-4. If we being real, if we keeping it 100. So like
the way it was publicized,
the way it was publicized, your exactly. So
the expectation really wasn't
that right there. That expectation for 18, 19-year-old kids can be something different too. I mean, I'm just trying to look at it from a different standpoint, trying to see why these kids are leaving and why Cormani came out and said what he said. So I can understand it in a sense, if that makes sense. But me, I would have been on the field, so I ain't worried about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the one that ain't playing. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
No, I get that. And the reason I ask why, especially if you're a kid in today's day and age, is social media is all that they do. It's all that everybody does. You know, we're all immersed in social media.
Yeah.
And so Coach Prime is using social media as a way to publicize what he's doing at that university. He's impacted the economy of Boulder. I forgot the percentage, but the percentage is significant, right? So it's because of their social media presence, and them having that social media presence, all it presents is opportunity for these players. And what is the opportunity? Well, the more social media presence that you have, the more social media presence that the school has means you have the opportunity to also have a big social media presence. If you have a big social media presence, then you also can gain more followers. More followers gives you the opportunity to have more endorsements. More endorsements, NIL, brings in more money. Now, some players don't play for that. I understand that.
True.
But if you are already immersed in social media as it is, you're again, I don't know Cormani McClain, I don't know his mindset, but I feel like he was heavily engaged in social media before he got to Colorado.
I'm pretty sure.
And that is the reason why he went to Colorado in the first place, I want to say, other than also playing for Coach Prime, learning from him, playing with Travis Hunter as well. So I say all that to say is I don't feel like this jab at Coach Prime from Cormani is strictly from Cormani. Coaches are going to use what you do best, or try their best to use what you do best in recruiting, because recruiting is the name of the game in college sports. They're going to try to use that against you. So if you do something very well, they're going to try a way to poke at it and pick it apart so that they can use it against you. Who was famous early in the season for saying we play for hits, not clicks, when they played Colorado? Who
said that?
The Oregon coach.
Oh, that's right.
And where is Cormani McClain reported to be going to, or is in high contention to go into?
Is he going to Oregon?
How ironic is that? How ironic is that? Again, nothing against Cormani McClain. I think he got off to a bad start at Colorado. Maybe he thought it was going to be easier than what it was going to be. We're all guilty of that, or I know I was. Going to a college initially thought, well, listen, I played my whole life. I wasn't the best athlete, but I always found a way to make it work. I'll find a way to make it work. And with Coach Prime, the expectation is always going to be 100. You're not coming at 80. You're going to come with 100 every time. And so I think he got off to a bad start, and it was just an uphill battle from there. Everybody was always on him because of the expectation that he brought to the table. 5-star recruit, number 1 DB, long, rangy cornerback, just like Travis Hunter. We're going to put you in that same mode. You may be able to play offense if you want to. Just didn't work out. And so now he's looking for a new home to right the wrongs and clear his name from what everybody's saying about him.
I can dig that. I mean, yeah, because I'm trying to put myself in a situation where the expectation can be a lot, but I can't speak from that because I'm somebody who thrives off of that type of atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna motivate me because the expectation is so high because of who I'm playing for and the program and the publicity around this program, that the expectation is so high. I'm gonna rise to that expectation. This me personally. So I can't speak in that realm. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a little bit, but I see what you mean. I see what you mean though, because I mean, if and it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the segment, just like, you know, Shiloh and Shador said, if you doing good and you showing that you can play, you're gonna be on that field. So there had to be something to that. I ain't saying it was a direct shot at Cormani McClain, but there's got to be something to that, to where like people won't get in the PT that they wanted. So that's why 31 people are bouncing. But that's just that's the atmosphere of the transfer portal these days, bro.
Yeah, it's college football.
That's college football. And now I can see why you said at the beginning of the segment, nah, that's the NCAA problem. They ain't Coach Prime problem. That's the NCAA problem, because they opened up these doors for these players to use their name, image, likeness, or be able to be in free agency nonetheless, to go wherever the hell they want to go. And that's not Coach Prime's issue. That's the NCAA's issue. But it was one of those things where it's like, damn, dog, like, we got these high expectations for Coach Prime, and we want the Colorado Buffaloes to do well. And all of these players are jumping ship, and they're making it seem like it's because of the clicks. So, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you also put along with the transfer portal, you also put into or take into consideration that every time a player transfers, they could get either more money or the same amount of money, but some other perk along with it.
Yep.
I'm going to transfer too. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the last thing, we find a way to do it every time, or one of us does. Everybody can't be LeBron. You know what I mean? So you said rise up to expectations. I have a feeling Cormani McClain came with a set of him going to Colorado and being under Coach Prime, his level of play came with high expectations as it was, and he had to meet that. And everybody can't do that. Everybody just doesn't want that type of pressure on them. They think they do until they get it. And then,
especially playing the same position that Coach Prime played at his prime.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Will you barbecue a mildew when you get that?
Barbecue a mildew. Or you going to piss down your leg. That's what you're going to do. What you going to do. Oh, you still here. That must mean you love the content. And if that is the case, there's a video on the screen right here. Go ahead, click that, view that. You're going to love that one as well. And we're 9 away from the 600 subscriber goal. There's a button right there in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. And we on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcasts.